and certainly one of the key aspects, especially with the B2C model. Those of you who remember when Netflix raised their prices years ago and everybody on social media complained, but Netflix wasn't really paying attention to that stream of information, and they absolutely got creamed by that movement of all the folks on social media, and as a result, did eventually roll back their prices, but it was a little bit too late. So voice of customer, has been around for a long time. It's just there's different channels now, more information coming from different areas. It first appeared in a paper in MIT, believe it or not, back in 1993. And if we think about this really does parallel still a lot of the stuff we do with machine learning and the information we're trying to distill from unstructured text. So we're trying to express, we want to hear what the customer has to say in their own language, but then kind of extract out and interpret, the hidden themes and try to categorize them into some form that will allow us to take action on that. So the Six Sigma process sort of picked that up and was able to kind of talk about what the latent or the unstated needs, and that word kind of carries forward into like latent semantic analysis for those of you who do machine learning. And so a lot of these themes and ideas that we use in machine learning have come from a lot of this work from voice of customer. And there's an example below in terms of like the verbatim from the customer versus what is the need, the actual need, and then the requirement. And these are sort of the same things we're doing now, and we don't need predictive analytics to necessarily do these things. We need to more or less a machine learning process to help us extract the information to get these requirements, and then perhaps use it for predictive analytics. But first and foremost, listening to the customer, which was my first statement here on this slide, which is you can't replace direct feedback with any predictive model, right? Anyone who does data science or machine learning will tell you that even at best, predictive analytics is still sort of guesswork, right? You can get within certain percentages, and a lot of it depends on what the specific business case is. And so you can't create, in other words, you can't create a machine learning model that predicts all outcomes for all cases, right? Otherwise, you would have an overfitted model, and it wouldn't be able to do anything correctly. So getting this direct feedback helps us to form the hypothesis, and sort of the first pass at machine learning. It's getting that data and hearing the voice of the customer and getting the contextual information that's locked away. So text analytics is basically getting that first pass, right? And that's what I'm talking about here. So it's hard conversation because when we talk about machine learning, it's all jumbled together, but there is a preparatory step. In fact, if you talk to any data scientists, they'll tell you a lot of their job is preparing and wrangling data. And this is what we're doing here. We're trying to get key information out of the data. Initially, doing some semantic analysis on it, getting an idea of what customers think and what are the keywords associated with those thoughts and feelings. And then maybe, yes, we'll put that in another, predictive model and try to predict future outcomes. But considering the client is new to all this, we're just trying to get them to first base in terms of getting the information out of the unstructured text and getting an idea of what customers feel.